Zhao Liying and Feng Shaofeng cried when they heard their son sing. I will be your spring, I hope mom and dad will come back together. Opening, a song, a tear. At a special family event, Zhao Liying and Feng Shaofeng's little son suddenly sang. The song he chose was I Will Be Your Spring, a sweet song, full of emotions. That innocent, clear voice resounded, making the space seem quiet. All eyes were on the boy. But the most touching moment was the moment Zhao Liying and Feng Shaofeng, two people who used to be husband and wife, now divorced, shed tears. 4 years ago, they were the golden couple of Chinese entertainment. The wedding was quiet but sweet, the appearance of their son was a source of complete happiness. At that time, the audience believed that they would go together to the end of the road. But then conflicts, career pressure, and distance caused love to break down. The divorce left many regrets. After the divorce, both chose to remain silent, not blaming or showing off. But that silence made the public even more curious. Feng once shared in an interview, what I regret the most is not losing a wife, but that my son no longer has a complete family. Triule Din, despite being strong, still admitted at times, being a single mother is not easy, but I will try to make my child always feel loved. At the party that day, the boy suddenly stood up, holding the microphone tightly. His voice was not yet full, sometimes he stumbled, but each word was filled with emotion. You will be my spring. I hope my parents will be together again. The audience was silent. A 6-year-old child, not yet fully understanding the concept of separation, only knew that he wanted his parents to come back and live under the same roof. When listening to his son sing, Feng could not contain his emotions. His eyes were red, his shoulders trembled slightly. He remembered the happy days when he held his son in his arms, and also remembered Li Din's gentle eyes in the small kitchen. He realized that, even though they were far apart, his heart still had a place for that woman. And the most heartbreaking thing was that he had let his son make such an innocent wish. Zhao Liying was strong and resilient. But when she heard her son sing, she could not hide her tears. On her face, the pain and remorse were evident. She loved her son, loved the family she once had. And deep in her heart, she knew she had never stopped thinking about the peaceful days with Feng Shaofeng. After her son finished singing, the whole hall resounded with applause. But the most important moment was the moment Zhao Liying and Feng Shaofeng looked at each other. In those eyes, there was regret, there was love, there were words left unsaid. Both seemed to wonder, can we start over, for our son, for our love that never died? In the 4 years apart, both of them achieved many great achievements in their careers. Zhao Liying went from being a television actress to a recognized star in the film industry, winning prestigious awards. Feng also came back strongly, participating in many quality projects, asserting himself. It is this maturity that makes them understand that love is not just about emotions, but also requires maturity and understanding. The son's song becomes the key to open the heart. It makes them remember that, even though they have left, there is still someone who always wants them to reunite, that is the son. Not only is it a childish wish, but also a message, Dad and Mom, love can still come back, if the two of you open your hearts. When this story spread, social networks exploded. Fans were moved to write. Just a song from a son, but enough to move two hearts that have been apart. If you still love, please give each other another chance. Many fans believe that this could be the turning point for them to think about reuniting. The biggest question, will Triule Din and Feng get back together? No one was sure, because both had self-esteem, careers, and old wounds. But after that moment, people believed that the door had never completely closed. Because true love, even if it was dormant, still smoldered, only needing a wind in this case, the child singing to flare up again. Spring symbolizes rebirth, new beginnings, new vitality. The son chose this song, as if sending a message to his parents, let's start over, like spring begins after winter. And both of them, in tears, understood that. That night, Triule Din hugged her son tightly. Feng walked over, gently placing his hand on his son's shoulder. The moment the three of them stood together made everyone believe that, love never disappeared. Although the road ahead is full of challenges, with the love of a child, with the tears that have fallen, I hope that one day, Triule Din and Feng will find each other again, so that the small family can be complete once again. During a live TV interview, Triule Din appeared with a gentle smile, but her eyes were a little tired. She wore a pure white dress, Her appearance was neat, her demeanor was calm as always. The host originally intended to talk about her career and new film projects. However, at the 40th minute of the program, the MC suddenly asked a sensitive question. There are rumors that the main reason why you and Feng divorced was due to conflicts with your mother-in-law. Is it because of your mother-in-law that you decided to leave? The space at that moment seemed to freeze. The audience in the studio held their breath. Even the MC did not expect that question to make the whole crew stop like that. Liying hesitated for a moment. The smile on her lips paused, her eyes seemed to fall into some void of memory. A few seconds of silence passed, but it was enough for the audience to feel something heavy. The woman who was strong and resilient, always known for never shedding tears in front of the camera, was now silent. The whole studio seemed to be lost in a state of waiting for an answer. Finally, Liying smiled slightly, but that smile contained a lot of bitterness. In a marriage, there are many influencing factors. I don't want to blame anyone, and I don't want to mention the two words mother-in-law. But, there are times when the difference in lifestyle and thinking makes me feel like I don't belong there. Perhaps, leaving is the least hurtful choice for everyone. As soon as the sentence ended, the whole room fell silent. The host was slightly confused, not daring to ask more. That answer did not directly admit, but also did not deny. It was like a painful truth hidden behind a layer of words. And it was that honesty mixed with restraint that made millions of netizens shed tears. During her years as a daughter-in-law, Liying had faced many rumors that her mother-in-law did not like her. Many sources said that Feng's family came from a wealthy family with a high social status, while Liying rose from poverty, through hard work and perseverance. The difference in background has become an invisible barrier. Some people say that Feng's mother wanted a daughter-in-law who was more suitable. Although on the surface she always maintained rules and respect, that emotional gap was never filled. Liying understood that clearly. She had tried many times to prove herself, both taking care of her family and shining on the set. But it seemed that the recognition she expected never came completely. In the interview, after saying that meaningful sentence, Liying continued to choke up. I do not regret this marriage, because I have my little angel. But when a woman has to choose between continuing to live under pressure or finding a peaceful environment for her child, I think I chose the way that my son will be happier. That is a sentence that touched the hearts of millions of mothers on social networks. People saw in that answer the sacrifice of a mother, daring to leave her marriage so that her child would not have to witness the hidden problems in the family. Not long after the interview, the media immediately sought out Feng. People asked him about his ex-wife's statement. Feng was pensive, his eyes shining with sadness. He simply replied, "Divorce is never a person's fault. I respect Liying's choice, and I also hope that everyone does not push my mother into the whirlpool of public opinion. No matter what, my mother is still the one who gave birth to me, and Liying will always be the mother of my son." This answer made the public even more heartbroken. It showed that, even though their love had broken down, he still wanted to protect both his mother and ex-wife, but at the same time implicitly admitted that there were invisible walls in the family. After the interview, social networks were flooded with comments. Just the phrase "not belonging there" said all the loneliness she had to endure. Marriage is not just a matter of two people, but also the harmony of two families. And sometimes, the woman is under the most pressure. Liying has been strong for too long, but inside she is full of wounds. Millions of fans sent words of comfort and encouragement. Someone even wrote, "I just hope you live happily, don't force yourself anymore." Sociologists and family psychologists also joined in the analysis. Many articles said, the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship is one of the common causes of divorce, especially in families with status. Liying is a public figure, and has to endure additional pressure from her career. Not finding sympathy from her husband's family makes her feel even more lost. The decision to divorce may stem from the desire to free herself and at the same time protect her son's psychological development. Even though they are divorced, when recalling the early days, everyone feels regretful. When they announced their marriage, they made the audience burst into tears. The image of the couple holding hands, their eyes shining on their wedding day is still vivid. The day Liying gave birth, Shaofeng was on standby outside the delivery room, his face worried but full of love. They had sweet days, taking their child for walks together, and appearing together at a few rare events. But then, that happiness could not last when the reality of family life was more complicated than what the public saw. Even though they broke up, the two never stopped loving their son. Every time they appear with their children, both Tri Yulin and Feng reveal their gentleness and warmth. That's why Li Din's answer in the interview makes fans even more heartbroken. She doesn't blame her husband, doesn't blame her mother-in-law, just chooses to be silent and then gently admits, "I don't belong there." That day's interview was not just a question, answer. It is a mirror reflecting the feelings of millions of women who have entered marriage, who have faced the pressure of mother-in-law, daughter-in-law. Tri Yulin answer made netizens heartbroken, because it was too real, too ordinary, too close. Hidden behind it was not only the tragedy of a famous star, but also the story of countless ordinary women out there. Tri Yulin left the show that day with a forced smile. But when she stepped backstage, many viewers caught a glimpse of her red eyes. And at that moment, people understand that there are wounds in marriage that cannot be erased, they can only learn to live with them.